Hello all. Crazy weather around San Francisco. The temperatures have been in the 80s, 70s to 80s in the Bay Area for the last 3 days. And last night, fog rolled in, and we're now having July weather, our fog that comes in every July. Well, let's go over to the board and look at the latest oil news. So today's news has to be that these derailments, both in Canada and in the U.S. Let's talk about the Canadian one first. It was an oil train on the west part of Canada near Ontario. 29 cars derailed out of the 100-car train. Cars are still on fire, and the area it derailed was heavily wooded. Oil shipments will now be delayed going from the west to the east part of Canada because they had to shut down the main train line through that area. So over in the U.S., there was also a terrible derailment of an oil train. Okay, another train crash derailment, this time in West Virginia in the U.S. It used to be a very pretty state, hilly and very pretty with the trees and the rivers and the streams, but a lot of it has been devastated through mining of coal and now industrial accidents such as this, because the trains go through West Virginia. So at the time of the crash, they were next to this river, and 14 of the train cars went into the river, caught fire, spilling the oil into the river, which was partially frozen. The town of Adiuna village were urged to evacuate. Only one injury and no one killed. However, the environmental disaster is huge. Partly frozen river means that the oil gets trapped underneath the ice, and don't forget the fish that live in there. They can't get away from the oil. Anyway, this is going to be a shorter video. Let's go over and look and see what Brent Crude's doing. Lately it's been doing a lot up, hasn't it? So today was kind of interesting. Things started out at about 61.5. Kind of just dribbled a little bit, went up to about 62, then went back down to 61, back up to 62, dribbled a little bit, plunged down to 60, well, about 60.5, and then it shot back up to 62.5, almost 63, and then came like this, and it's still open. It seems to like the 60s now. A little too foggy to go and look at barges in the bay, but lately there's been 8 to 11 barges, so we have a large increase in barges in San Francisco Bay. Interesting, isn't it? And how the Middle East wars are going to affect oil, I can only imagine. It just keeps ratcheting up day by day. But I can safely say that prices are going to have to go up purely to feed the war machines around the world. They're going to need some way of feeding it. So while we're worried about whose heads get chopped off and who gets burnt alive and all that, just remember that Saudi Arabia, one of our biggest allies, chops off at least one person's head every day, and there's not a single scream about that. It's amazing what oil can do to change all of our morals. So 2/3 of the people in the U.S. want to go to war. Unbelievable. The amount of oil that will have to be used to fight each other. Staggering. Alright guys, I appreciate all the comments and the ups and the downs and the anything else you can do. And it's been a little busy, so we haven't put on too many videos, but as you can see, there's nothing but bad news and plenty of people reporting that. So until next time.